Today, we are taking this Dollar Tree shovel and making some surprisingly nice things with it. Let's get crafting. The first thing I did was I took them outside and I grabbed this Rust-Oleum spray paint. It has primer in it as well in the color white. It's flat, and I spray painted all 4 of the shovels. I also am going to be sealing all of these at the very end, and I did spray paint the back. So now I am using apple barrel paint in the color Cameo Pink, and we're going to give this shovel a quick paint. And now just using some regular white paint, also from Apple Barrel Paint, I'm just going to do a dry brush of white. Now this on a darker color gives it like a veil effect. Think of a wedding veil. If you do just the dark color dry brushing on top of the white, you don't get quite the same softness. So for those of you that are wondering why I didn't just dry brush the pink on, that's why. Now we're going to give this a quick blow dry so we can keep moving. Here's one of my free printables I designed today. I love this one. I thought it was so cute. It will be down below my video, the link if you want to get it. You can also just take a screenshot right off the screen. Just pause the video, screenshot, and then you've got your print and you can adjust the size accordingly. So this is actually not paper. This is vinyl sticker paper, a wonderful little discovery I discovered last fall when I did a charger plate video. I love this stuff because you can Mod Podge over it and it doesn't wrinkle. That was the pleasant, totally unexpected surprise by using sticker paper. Already good to go. There's never wrinkles because, sticky on the back. It's like shelving paper. You just stick it down, only it's stickier. It's definitely stickier. So I'm just kind of measuring here, getting it so that it's going to be centered in there. And I found the best way to do this was to turn it upside down and then use some masking tape to just tape it in place so it doesn't wiggle around and the edges kind of hang off. So you have to cut it at a graduated, see how the inside of the shovel kind of goes down at an angle. It's a horseshoe, but it's not totally like a perfect U. It comes together a little bit. So you do need to allow for that and get that angle. I'm taking the top of a coffee can and I'm using it to get this edge at the top because it wasn't quite the curve. It just wasn't quite right. It didn't look right. So I made some adjustments. But I just thought I'd let you know in case you recreate this. When you print it up, if you want the same curve, you're going to need to do the same thing. And now I'm just going to stick it on. That's what's so awesome with this paper. I mean, look at that. You just stick it on. You can slap Mod Podge on. I actually took these outside and I sprayed them with a clear poly acrylic because it's easy and fast. I already had the spray painting cardboard outside. So all of these in the video today are just sealed with the poly acrylic. But you could absolutely put Mod Podge on. The paper will not wrinkle. And then I just glued a simple, because they're lightweight, they're not heavy. I used a little bit of string and hot glue and tape. We'll see if it holds. If not, I'll use duct tape or something, or I'll get a little bit more creative. But for now, we're going to see if it holds. Now, I will tell you when I glued the florals on, they kept coming off. It was very irritating. And I did end up having to tie all of my florals on. In one way or another, I had to secure them. So I just used white string. I used glue too, but I just felt like the surface was still really smooth. It just didn't want to stick. I don't know why. So we tied it on. Then I add these roses on the top. I just loved the color combinations here with the green and the pink. And I end up gluing the roses to the greenery. That's lamb's ear. That way I made sure it stayed on. You know what I mean? It did stick to the lamb's ear. So that was my genius idea right there. And then I had these pretty white flowers from the Dollar Tree left over, and I just thought that would be pretty for like a little spray behind or to the side of the shovel, I guess. And I glued those to the rose petals to make sure those stayed on. Lastly, just to soften up the border a little bit, and also to hide that it's paper, I went ahead and took the pink paint and just went around the edges. So it goes on the edge of the shovel and the edge of the paper, and we're all done. Let me know what you think. Here's the white shovel, of course. And at Dollar Tree about 2 years ago, I found this flexible stencil and I never used it. And it occurred to me, some of you might not be able to find this, so that you can recreate it. I went ahead and made a printable for you. There it is, and it's free, of course. So I printed it up again on the sticker paper and I am cutting it out. I sped it up. I actually went very slow. And then I'm using this grill tray, also from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to go ahead and lay it down on the front to measure it and get everything in place before I stick the sticker down. So it's not stuck down just yet. I'm just measuring everything. I did this by eye. Unfortunately, I am a crafter that does most things by eye. I'm not very good at measuring. I mean, I can if I have to, but I hate it. So I left about 1.5 inches on either side of the shovel. And then I'm just cutting this square out right here. You can see I'm just after this little piece. This is going to be faux chicken wire, you guys. So one of the edges is finished off because it is a grill screen that you're supposed to hold, and the other ones aren't, and I'll show you what I do with that later. To start with, we are going to paint this black. I just thought that would look really cool against the white vinyl. Now I am using the print up because I am assuming most of you will not be able to find the stencil, and I wanted you to see a real life example of what it might look like if you attempt to recreate this. So we are going to make a little pocket using this grill, and I'm just bending it around. This is definitely more, to me, it's the closest the Dollar Tree has had to, it can mimic chicken wire, obviously, but it just looks industrial farmhouse, and it looks really nice for this look. Now, I will tell you that you do have to be careful while you're cutting. So I'm going to cut up the side right here on both of the sides of the shovel, and then just cut that little square out. Can you see what I'm doing? Right there, it's like a little flap. I'm going to cut across, and then that leaves a little flap, and you can just fold that over. It's kind of like wrapping a present. And we just made a cute little pocket, you guys. It looks so cute. So to handle the back, which I said I would get to later in the video, here it is. I'm going to just cover it with ribbon. It's that simple. The front is already finished because the grill is meant to be handled where you're holding it. So that's fine. It's just the back end where you've cut. That one does need to be covered. And I just bent down the little edges that were sticking up. You go really slow. It's not, well, for sure. You know, the foil baking trays that I've crafted with, those are much scarier. Those, if you're not careful, you can cut yourself. This was nowhere near that. It was fairly straightforward, and I felt safe doing it. I didn't feel like I needed gloves, and it was all good. So now we are taking some Excelsior grass, and we are putting it in the pocket. And for those of you that want to go a little fancier, you could always add eggs. I wanted to keep this very minimalist because the shovel, it's a cute decor piece, but only when it's done right, because it is obviously a cheap Dollar Tree shovel. So you have to be really careful about how much stuff you put on it, because I discovered when I was making these, you can make them look cheaper. So I just took a gingham print bow, put it on the top, and we're all done. And I think it's so cute. Here's the white shovel, and today's free printable is this cute snowman. We are making a snow shovel. And of course, it is a free printable down below. And here I printed it on the vinyl sticker paper. Again, it's working. I'm staying with it, and I'm cutting it out. Now I'm going to stick it down, you know the drill, onto the shovel, making sure that it's as even as possible, and I'm going to smooth it down. I will say, when you print on the sticker paper, give it at least an hour to dry before you try to Mod Podge it. And I've only done it, to be honest with you, when I've let it dry for about 3 to 4 hours, but I'm pretty sure it's dry after an hour. If you don't want to take any chances, wait the 3 to 4 hours, because I can vouch for that. I am taking some black paint here and just doing faux little chips on this shovel. I was in the mood to keep it white, but I didn't want it to just be solid. So since it's been shoveling snow, it has to have some chips on it. And now I'm just going around the edges again to kind of help blend it in and make it more cohesive so it doesn't look so obviously a stick-on piece of vinyl. And now we're going to add some color with this playful red and white striped ribbon. I'm going to make a bow for the top. And this one I decided to go a little bit bigger. You know, just a little more embellishment, I guess, on the top, because in my mind, anyway, I'm going to use it for my door decor this Christmas. So I thought I have a pretty heavy door, so I thought I got to make this a little heavier. I can't go too minimalist because it won't show up. So I am gluing the snowflake down, and then I'm putting, that's a Dollar Tree snowflake, and I am putting the bow on top, and then I'm putting the other bow with the bell on the middle. And again, this didn't stay on, surprise, surprise. So I did have to take some of the baker's twine string that I do have, and I had to tie it on with that. And I just went through the snowflake in the back. Here I go, through the little holes. Thank goodness I used a snowflake. Highly recommend. It gives you something to tie on. And I got really creative because I had made the string so long that I was able to tie both sides of the pine down with the baker's twine. And then I just added some more twine there, and I glued it to the bow. So things stick to the bow. They just don't stick to the shovel very well. And I am using a little bit of hot glue at the bottom just to add some Dollar Tree snow. I used hot glue because I wasn't adding that much snow, and I just squish it down with my spatula. I did add some extra heavy pine on the top and the front because I thought it just needed a little extra, but this is going to make a super cute door decor piece, I think. Let me know what you think. And we have our painted white beach shovel from Dollar Tree. And I'm using the color Khaki by Apple Barrel Paint just to do, it is a dry brushing, but it's not super dry. It's like on the edges, I definitely wanted it to be, solid. And then I'm just adding some, I guess this is that veiling effect again. I'm just kind of making it so the white is just going to kind of show through, kind of smoky like. And I don't know, I just wanted some dimension definitely for this one. And it goes with the theme we're doing too. So you could use a dark brown, light brown wax, whatever you want. I just felt like this was a nice warm brown, and I wanted it to be warm, and you'll see why in a minute. And of course, we give it a quick blow dry so we can keep moving. And I was super excited to find these last year. This says Hello Pumpkin. It's a window cling from Dollar Tree. In 2024, I noticed they were getting better with window clings, and 2025, I was honestly impressed. So hopefully they'll keep improving their window clings because this is really nice. So the Hello Pumpkin is kind of spread out far. You have to take your time. I used masking tape, and I just put it on really light just to hold it in place because I used the back side to try and get it so I could see where, I even held it up to the bright light, you guys. I didn't show it on camera, but I wanted to make sure I got the letters inside the whitest part of the bottom of the shovel. And I'm just tracing it out, and that's it. This is a window cling, but I do take it off first and test it on the back side of the shovel. You'll see that in a minute, which is actually another way. I mean, I didn't realize I was watching the video, but you could actually craft it this way just for something different and unique. Another conversation piece. It would look cute on the back of the shovel. Why not? You kind of have like a little arch over the top. Maybe I'll do that next year. So I did end up taking some white paint because I realized those letters aren't going to pop enough. And so I'm just taking a little sponge brush, some white acrylic paint, and making like a brighter white cloud in the center to make sure that this pops. And I'm using a little bit of Mod Podge. And I will say it was definitely more relaxing putting the imagery on here because you have some room to wiggle it, literally. So because these letters were so, you can see, tight fitting, I was so grateful that it was Mod Podge and I could kind of see how I'm scooching it down. Yeah, I really liked that. That made it simple and like foolproof. So that's the only bad thing about the sticker paper. Obviously, you have to really concentrate. I have torn it off before. It didn't take the paint. I've actually done it twice. So don't be afraid to rip it off if you have to. It seems like it's going to, but it doesn't. At least it didn't with me. And I was able to, readjust it. So here I'm using this super cute buffalo check white and orange bow. I'm taking some raffia, tying it in a bow and putting that on the top. This is just classic fall vibes here, you guys. I love the 4 seasons. I really do. So keeping it classy because, again, these shovels, like I said, you can go too much. And in certain settings, it just seems to make it look cheaper. I wanted to keep the little fall leaves dainty and very minimalist, just little accents for fall, more like, I guess, what you would find maybe if you bought this in the store, like from Hobby Lobby or something. So I just kept it nice and delicate. and I added a little bit of greenery for a pop of color. This time I did not have to tie these bows on, although I am not counting on it. I feel like it's going to fall off, so I may hit it with some super glue, but this is it. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed today's video and had fun today, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, here's another one you might enjoy watching next.